If you can save $1,000, you can save $5, 10, 15, 20, $50,000 and beyond. And I'm saying it because I've done it. So let me show you how. That money does not belong to you. It belongs to your future self. That's how I'm able to grow my savings consistently. But I'm just making it very practical for you so that you can see that the $1,000 is literally sitting in your paycheck. Right now, it's just at Starbucks. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint you need to hit $1,000 in 90 days without making any extra money. Let's get started. Now, the first $1,000 is the hardest because you are officially breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. I know a lot of us make excuses about why we can't save money because we have all these bills. And honestly, the excuses are definitely valid. However, your $1,000 savings is sitting in your paycheck right now. You just have to make room for it to come to the front. Less than 50% of Americans have $1,000 in their savings, and not gonna lie, that's unacceptable. From my personal experience, I have been saving $1,000 since I was literally 10. Well, I've been trying to save $1,000 since I was 10. I would hit my mark and then I would dip into it, or I would get the impulse to go shopping and just blow the money and say oh yeah, I'll save it again, which I did, but it became a repetitive cycle of just saving it, spending it, saving it, spending it. So I couldn't get past $1,000 for literally over a decade. Yeah. However, as someone who is currently in the process of saving $20,000, I can tell you that first $1,000 is just it's the hardest step, but it's the first step to building the momentum to saving $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and beyond. So here is the very simple 3-step plan to save $1,000 in 90 days. Step 1 is to create a plan, which lucky for you, I did it for you, so the hard work is already done. So if we just do some basic math, we know our timeline is 90 days, essentially 3 months. So if we divide our savings goal, $1,000 by 3 months, that works out to $333 a month if you get paid monthly, or $168 bi-weekly if that's when you get paid, or $84 a week if you're lucky and you get paid weekly, or $12 a day. Simple. That's easy. See, now the math is broken down. Now we know exactly what we need to be contributing to this goal every single time we get paid. Now, I know some people do a monthly budget, but I find that too many things can pop up during a month, so it's kind of hard to stick to a monthly budget. I like to break down my budget every single time I get paid. So every single week or every single 2 weeks when you get paid, you can make the space to save your whatever number it is that you're saving, either $168 every 2 weeks, or $84 a week, or $333 a month. Are we following? I hope that wasn't too fast. And as I said in the beginning of this video, we are not looking for ways to make any additional money. We're going to work with the money that we already have. And so to make this happen, we're going to create a no spend category. So this just means that we're going to find something that we spend money on repeatedly and just take a break from it for 3 months. So for instance, if you go to Starbucks and you get your $12 coffee every single morning before you go to work or even on the weekends, let me do some quick math for you again. $12 a day on your coffee, your breakfast, whatever it is, comes out to $360 a month. And mind you, our goal is only $333. So if you simply cut out your Starbucks run every morning, that'll essentially get you to your $1,000 goal within 90 days. Now, that's not to say you can't have coffee. You can have your coffee. That was never the problem. However, you can make it in the house. I'm a firm believer in making things in the house. So you could buy the same coffee, the Starbucks ground coffee or the coffee beans, whichever you prefer. You can get your creamer, you can get your caramel swirl, vanilla swirl, whatever. You can get all those ingredients, keep it in the house, and just make that coffee every single morning. You can even get the plastic cups with the straw just to make it feel like you're really getting it from Starbucks, but you can make it taste even better when you make it at home. And essentially that will save you $12 a day, which will essentially save you $333 plus each month. Or if you are buying lunch every single day that you work, Monday through Friday, that adds up quickly too, because most lunch items are about $20. So if we do the math again, $20 times 5 days of work is $100 a week, or $400 a month. So instead of eating Chipotle every single day, During your lunch break, maybe you can buy the ingredients to make Chipotle at home. I've done it. Trust me, it tastes a lot better when you cook things at home, and it's also a lot healthier for you. So essentially, that will save you $400 a month, which will easily help you complete this $1,000 savings goal in 3 months. I think oftentimes we don't realize how much money we really spend on food, but take a look at your bank statement. Look at your transaction history. You don't need McDonald's, Starbucks, Chipotle every single day. Every single day? No. And I'm not judging you. I'm right there with you. But I'm just making it very practical for you so that you can see that the $1,000 is literally sitting in your paycheck. Right now, it's just at Starbucks, or it's at Chipotle, or it's at the nail salon. You need to keep it in your account so that we can put it where it needs to be. And I just want to emphasize that this is a very temporary measure. 3 months goes by like this, okay? It's just a temporary sacrifice to hit your savings goal. And then after the 3 months, you can go back to spending the money on clothes and food and shoes and whatever else, if that's what you desire to do. But I guarantee you that at the end of these 90 days, you're not going to want to spend that money on those things anyway, because you will feel so much better that your money is in your savings instead. Step 2 is to make your money untouchable. When I was trying to save $1,000, I kept self-sabotaging because my money was literally in a little pink pouch in my bedside table, and anytime I had the urge or the impulse to buy something, I would easily just dip in there, get the cash, and spend the money. I was literally setting myself up for failure. But learn from my mistakes and put your money in a high-yield savings account and make sure that there's no minimum required. I have so many videos on my page about high-yield savings accounts and the ones that I recommend, so I will leave them linked in the description box below. Now, having your money in a high-yield savings account just causes a little bit of friction between you and your savings, because we don't want it to be too accessible to where we dip into it all the time, but we also don't want it to be locked up in any type of like stocks or bonds or anything where we will be penalized for taking that money out. So typically with high yield savings accounts, it takes about 1 to 3 business days to transfer that money from your account to your checking account, and that's exactly what we need. Because if you have the impulse to buy something, you can't just dip into your bedside table like me and grab the cash. You're going to have to wait 1 to 3 business days to really consider and think about if it's really worth it. And hopefully during that waiting period, the impulse will die down so that way you no longer have the desire to spend that money. I think that immediate gratification has become so normalized, but as someone who has saved money for different things over and over and over again, like a shopping spree for vacations to hit my $10,000 and currently $20,000, it feels so good when you actually deprive yourself a little bit of the things that you want in the moment to save for the things that you really want down the line. Trust me. Also, putting it in a high yield savings account, you are earning interest. Based on the high yield savings accounts that are out and available today, I recommend not settling for anything less than 3.5 to 4% if you're opening up a brand new account, because there's accounts that are out there paying that and there's no minimum required. So I wouldn't settle. You can also automate your transfers. So every week, every 2 weeks, or every month that you get paid, at this point, you know exactly how much you need to be putting into your savings account. You can automate that transfer so that way as soon as you get paid, you don't even have the opportunity to spend that money on things that you shouldn't be spending it on. It's immediately out of sight, out of mind. And that's why a high yield savings account is the perfect place to house your savings, because it's out of sight, out of mind, it's gaining interest, and you can still access it if you really, really need it. And once that money hits that high yield savings account, you set it and forget it. You do not touch it under any circumstances. That money does not belong to you, it belongs to your future self. That's what I live by. That's how I'm able to grow my savings consistently. It's like if you were to give money to a family member. If you gave a family member $1,000, would you a few weeks later or a couple days later ask them for that money back? No, because it belongs to them now. You made the decision to give it to them, so you're not going to go back on your decision and ask them for the money back. So treat your future self the same way. Once you give that future self money, do not take money from that future self until you decide and you pick a date that that money is going to be available for you to use, and not a day sooner. Step 3 is to track your progress. If there's one thing that I learned from the 100 envelope challenge, it's that tracking your progress makes all the difference, because it builds motivation. As you see yourself getting closer and closer and closer to your goal, you are going to be more motivated to continue making progress every single week or every single 2 weeks or every single month. Now you can print out a sheet like this just to check off every single week that you are contributing to your savings, or you can create your own tracking system, or you can do something as simple as a note in your notes app and just have week 1, $84, week 2, $84. And every time you stuff an envelope, so to speak, you will highlight that off of your tracking system. And I wouldn't complicate this part. If I was doing this right now, I would just do something in my notes app and keep it very simple. This is honestly what I do when I'm saving for things like vacation, just because I'm able to see like how far I've come and also how much further I have to go. And go ahead and reward yourself once you do hit that $1,000 mark with whatever you want. That could be finally getting Chipotle again, getting your Starbucks drink again, you know, treating yourself to a little mini shopping spree, getting the shoes you've been wanting, getting a nice mini pedi since you haven't done that in the past 3 months, whatever it is that's going to make you feel really good about hitting your savings goal. I think it's important to celebrate the small wins so that way you are fueled to hit the next win. Okay, let's talk about your homework. So, first part of your homework assignment is to decide what your no spend category is going to be, whether it's your daily coffee, your daily breakfast, your daily lunch, your nails, whatever it is, decide what it's going to be. Remember, it's only 3 months. The time is going to fly by. You won't even notice that it's missing. You'll be okay. Second part of your homework assignment is to open a high-yield savings account. There's so many out there. Just pick one. Don't overthink it. Or if you feel like opening a high-yield savings account is going to cause any friction between you starting this savings process, then just go ahead and use your regular savings account that you already have. That's fine. That'll do for now, but I really encourage you to go the high yield savings account route. It's super easy. It's just like a regular savings account. It just has a higher interest rate. Third part of your homework assignment is to stick to the plan. We know the timeline is 90 days. We know how much we need to save every time we get paid. The foundation is laid out for you. You just have to show up every single time that money hits your account and stick to the plan. Part 4 of your homework assignment is to track your progress. Like I just mentioned, it just builds so much motivation when you can see how far you've come and how much longer you have to go. Because if you, for instance, if you see that you're halfway through to saving $1,000, you're less likely, hopefully, to dip into that savings because you know it's going to backtrack you. And also once you check off a box that like, yep, I saved this box already, you shouldn't go back and uncheck it because it's already done. That money's already with your future self. And if you want some extra credit, then you will go ahead and set up auto transfers so that your money can transfer directly into your savings account as soon as it hits your account once you get paid. And once you complete your homework assignment, comment down below homework done, because I want to see who's really serious about saving $1,000 in 90 days. And let me just say this, if you do not have a goal for your savings, you are not going to reach your financial potential. Essentially, if you don't plan to succeed, you plan to fail. If you don't have a step-by-step plan of how you're going to get something done, you're never going to reach that goal, or you're going to fall very short of that goal because it's not clear, it's not identified. And so once you have a goal and a step-by-step plan on how to get there, there's no other option but to reach that goal. The timeline is completely dependent on you, but if you stick to the plan, like, it's going to happen inevitably. And saving your first $1,000 is the hardest because, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it is breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and it's creating a new identity for yourself. Because maybe you identify as someone who lives paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you feel like you're someone who doesn't have room to save, but once you break that narrative and start saving your first $1,000, you can do it again and again and again. And so it breaks that cycle and it creates a new identity as someone who saves money. So that pretty much concludes today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, comment down below day 1 so that I know you're starting the challenge. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.